Okay, today we're looking at chapter 2, which is solving equations and inequalities, okay? Hopefully this will be a fairly simple review for you. The first problem is a one-step equation, a minus 12 equals 12. I have to get the variable by itself. As I showed you last time, I box the variable, split the problem. How do I get it by itself? Add 12 to both sides, therefore a equals 24, okay? Number 2, same thing, it's a one-step equation. It's a one-step inequality. 6p is greater than or equal to 10. What do I need to do? Divide by 6. P is greater than or equal to 10 over 6. If I reduce it, because when I look at the choices, this isn't there, I then reduce it to 5/2. What do you need to remember with inequalities? You flip the sign if you multiply or divide by a negative. Excellent job. Everyone good with that? Cool? Okay. So that takes us through, how many of you have 3, 4, and 5 already done? 3, 4, and 5 already done? Okay. So I'm just going to go over answers without showing my work. If you need to see the work, I will go back to it because these are straightforward ones, and then we'll move ahead. Okay. So 3, what did you get as an answer? -5. 4, 64. Because remember, this symbol here really means division. And the opposite or inverse operation of division is multiplication. So 8 times 8, 64. Good? Let me know if you're not. Okay. What is the answer to number 5? N is greater than -4. Why did I flip the symbol? Because I divided by a negative. Excellent. Okay, so then we start to get to some complex problems. So I'm going to assign a couple of complex problems and then we will go over them. Let's do, put them there. Let's go ahead and focus on 6, 9, 10, and 12. Let's focus on those, and then we'll look at some other ones as necessary. Everyone good with that? Okay. I'm just kind of letting you do a little bit more on your own today because this is just equations. Good? Okay. All right, number 6. Number 6 said 9a plus 5 is equal to -22. This is a two-step equation. Now, some of the gimmicks I show you are just because I'm a visual learner. You don't have to use them. But what I typically do is box the variable, split the problem. I want to get the box by itself. It's like you hanging out in your room and you're having a phone call with a friend and your annoying brother or sister's knocking on the door and you need to get rid of them. So how do I get rid of that +5? -5. Excellent. -22 minus 5 is -27. Final step. Divide by 9. Therefore, A is equal to -3. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, yeah? Okay, number 9 has a bunch of stuff. It has distributed property, has variables on both sides, and it's an inequality. So here we go. -8, x plus 3, less than or equal to 2 times -2x plus 10. So first thing we're going to do is distribute. Don't be selfish. This guy has to share with each person in the parenthesis. This guy here has to share with each person in the parenthesis. Do not be selfish, because I can guarantee that the answer key will include somebody that's selfish. All right, so -8x minus 24, because a negative times a negative is a negative times a positive is a negative. And then I have -4x plus 20 on this side. There's a variety of ways to do this. What's the first move you would like? There's a variety of ways. What do you want me to start with? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was distracted with... You want me to add the 8x? Okay, so I'm going to add 8x. So then that leaves me with -24 is less than or equal to 4x plus 20. Now what am I going to do? Subtract the 20. -44 is less than or equal to 4x. What do I do? Now, do I have to flip my symbol? No, because I'm dividing by a positive. So I have negative 11 is less than or equal to x. So you always want to read with the variable first. So I'm going to read starting here. So x is, x is, the open mouth always goes to the bigger. So x is greater than negative 11. If you can't see it, then rewrite it. Put x here and notice 2 dots. The 2 dots have to be closest to x. The single dot is over here. Okay? So I also know that this is the greater than symbol because it doesn't look like an L. Less than looks like an L. It looks like a squished down L. I don't know if anyone taught you that. Okay, so you should have picked letter D. Good? All right, so number 10. Number 10, they try to trick you. First of all, hold on, what's the matter? Oh, 9 is A. Yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry, I just totally missed the negative sign. Good call. All right, it was A. All right, number 10, they try to trick you. I don't know about you, but I don't want to see a squared because squared means I have to factor. And I've seen a lot of carelessness with factoring. So let's look at it. Let's see if we can improve it. So think back to last week. Can I simplify this? Can I make this smaller? Okay, what's one way I can make it smaller? I can make this 1/2, right? Because I can divide each of these by 3, so that's 1 over 2. Now what can I do with the c squared divided by c? It just becomes c. Everyone okay with that? If you don't see that, please let me know. Everyone okay? All right. So plus 9 equals 15. Now it's just a 2-step equation, which you guys did a couple of minutes ago and you were awesome with, so help me out. Subtract 9. So c over 2 equals 6, because 1c is the same as c, right? Okay, now what do? Multiply both sides by 2, because this is division. The opposite of division is multiplication. Therefore, c is equal to 12. Awesome, great. Okay, number 12 is my absolute favorite. Who knows fraction equals fraction? What's the quickest, fastest way to solve it? Cross multiply, fraction equals fraction. Now, if I have a fraction equals a whole, you can put that whole over 1 and still solve it by cross multiplying, in case you didn't know that, okay? Or you can do swappity swap. All right, so I have 10x over 7 equals 5x minus 10 over 3. Cross multiply, 30x equals 35x. Minus 70, don't forget, it's a share. 7 has to be shared with both numbers. I'm going to subtract 35x from both sides, and that gives me negative 5x equals negative 70. Let's pretend it's on the 9 calculator, so let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. 14, positive or negative? Positive 14. Cool? Questions on that? Okay, there are only 2 types of problems left, okay? There are ones where they want you to solve and then substitute back in. And then they want to talk about undefined. I'm going to go out of order and start with undefined first. Are you guys okay with that? So I'm skipping all the way to number 21. There are 3 no-nos in math. Who remembers the 2 big no-nos in math? Who can tell me one of them? No-nos in math. Come on, I see a lot of pre-calc people in here. We've been doing this. What are the no-nos? You forgot already? Oh, shame on you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, okay. Can't divide by 0, which means no 0 in the denominator. Well said. Oh, that's really, nominee. Oh, I totally, nominee. Ooh, sorry, I fixed it. Ooh, that was really bad spelling. Okay, what's the other no-no? There's 3 of them, but there's 2 that they really focus in on. I'll tell you the third, but you got to tell me the second. That's definitely going to be on the SAT. What type of square root? Can't take the square root of a negative. No square root of a negative. Okay? It will give you an imaginary number. The other big one, which is not on the SATs, but you need it for pre-calculus and calculus, is you cannot take the log of a negative. Cool? Ringing a bell? Making sense? Okay, using that information and that information only, I would like you to do 21, and then I'll go over it. I would like you to do 21 before me. Okay, so I have been given the equation negative 8, x minus 8, and they want to know where it's undefined. So what am I going to focus? What part of the equation am I going to focus on? The denominator. And I don't want it to equal 0. So I set it equal to 0 and say no, no. And what do? Talk to me, talk to me. Add 8. So it is undefined when x equals 8. It is undefined when x equals 8. Cool? Ring a bell? Yes? Sound familiar? All right, last problem of the day. I'm going to truly torture you because there's, well, actually, we might try to get 2 problems. Oh, we can easily do 2 problems. All right, we'll do an easy one and then I'll do an evil one. So I would like you to do problem number 17. So you have to solve for x and then they want you to do a second part of the process. Okay, so number 17, then I'm going to pick one more and we'll call it quits for the day. All right, number 17. Okay. We have 3x minus 8 equals 9x plus 5 over 2. Now, you can put this over 1 and cross multiply, or you can simply multiply by 2. Get rid of the division. So you can either do this and cross multiply, or you can just get rid of the dividing by 2 by multiplying by 2. Please remember not to be selfish. Don't be selfish, okay? So that means 6x minus 16, not minus 8, okay? Equals 9x plus 5. Your brain is tired because you almost said 18. Long day. I know it's a long day for you guys, and it's hot out there, and it's distracting when the weather's so gorgeous. You guys are being troopers. Okay, so what do I do? There's lots of correct ways. You'd like me to add 16? Okay, I'll add 16. So now I have 6x equals 9x plus 21. Again, you could have done something different. The only way you should be asking questions is if our final answer doesn't match. Because you could have moved the 6x first, or you could have moved the 9x, okay? Or you could have moved the 5. You could have moved any 4 of them. All right, what do you want me to do now? Subtract 9x. You guys like negative variables. Are you negative people? Negative 3x equals 21. What do? Divide by negative 3, no symbol to flip, so x is equal to negative 7. I'd like you to take a time out for a minute. I want you to look at the answer choices. Is negative 7 one of them? Yeah, they've just caught a bunch of you because you didn't read the directions all the way through. Miss Olenek does that sometimes. I rush through. But was that the full question? No, it wants to know what is x plus 7. So if x is negative 7, what's negative 7 plus 7? 0. But you see how they get you? You get all excited because you saw the equation and the answer's there and woohoo, and you just didn't read the full sentence. Do you see how they trick you? Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry, the comment I made, if this had been an inequality, I would have had to flip it greater than less than because dividing by a negative. There's no symbol to flip because it's an equal sign. So if this had been negative 3x is greater than 21, I would have had to, because I'm dividing by a negative, flip the symbol the other direction. That's what I was talking about. I was just trying to reiterate a skill that we worked on earlier in class just to keep it in your brain. Cool? All right, last problem of the day. Please attempt number 18. We'll go over it in 2 minutes and call it quits. Do you have a question? I don't mind to ask your question. Don't be scared. I'm not a meanie. You know this. Yes. You just re-explaining? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. All right. Number 18. I have 9x plus 8 over 3 equals 8 over 3x plus 9. Okay, so this is my personal preference. You can do it in any order you want. I'm just going to go ahead and notice that there's over 3 on both sides. So I'm going to put everybody over 3. So if I put this over 3, if I put a 3 under here, I also have to put it to the top, right? And if I put a 3 over here, I also have to put it to the top. Everyone follow? Okay, so now I have 27x over 3 plus 8 over 3 equals 8 over 3x plus 27 over 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the x's together. So I'm going to subtract 8 over 3x. Okay, what's 27 minus 8? 19. So I have 19 over 3x equals subtract 8 over 3 equals 19 over 3x. So x is equal to 1. That one you can do in your head. If you didn't see it, if you didn't notice that these numbers match, remember, if I start with 2 and I want to end with 2 and I'm doing multiplication, the only number I can multiply by is 1. If you didn't recognize it, we multiply whenever there's a fraction. We multiply by the reciprocal. Oh, when everything cancels in division, it is 1. Yes. Yep. You could have multiplied everybody by 3 at the beginning too. If I multiplied all these by 3 and not at the bottom, just multiply across 3 across the board, it would have also worked. Just some different methods. Everyone okay? But is that the final answer? No, it wants to know what 3/8 x is. What's 3/8 times 1? 3/8. Last skill, turn to the back page. It asks for, okay, the sum of 4 consecutive odd whole numbers is 48. So consecutive is like n plus 1, n plus 2, n plus 3, right? So consecutive odd, I know, let's see. Okay, so n plus 1, n plus 3, n plus 5. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I goofed. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to start with n, right? Okay, if n is 1, what's the next odd number? 3. How far away is it? 2. So this would be n plus 2. Again, this is a thinking skill that you could be doing during the test, right? So the next odd would be, yeah, how would I get from n to that? If n is 1, how do I get to 5? n plus 4. And the last one is going to be n plus 6. Those are my consecutive odds, even though I'm adding by even numbers. Yes? Okay? This is the sum of 4 consecutive odd numbers, whole numbers, is 48. So equals 48. Now I'm just going to combine like terms. How many n's do I have up there? 4n plus what? 12 equals 48. And now it's easy to solve, right? It is 4n equals 36, n equals 9. What does n equals 9 represent? The starting, the smallest one. If I asked you for the largest one, what would it be, the largest consecutive number? The 9 plus 6, which would have been 15. Do you get that? It throws me, I'll be honest, because I was thinking we wanted to do n plus 1, n plus 3 because consecutive odds, and that gives you a gap of 2, but you always want to start with n. Okay? Good? All right. So I am going to ask that you try a question between 28 and 30 and one between 26 and 27. And if you get stuck, that you come and see me, or at least check the answer key online, or come check my answer key. Is that fair? All right, I am done for today. Bye.